All right, for the fourth, I think this is part 4, and I'm just going to load them like that because I just don't edit things like that. No visible smoke, and I can't do zoom, but from this distance I see nothing. So from this distance, if that was not running efficiently, I would see smoke. You drive by people with an outdoor furnace, they are wasting probably 3/4 of the money that they put into their heating their house. Unless it's some super high efficiency thing. That's just my take on it, because I know for a fact one guy cuts wood for his father, he cuts wood for himself, and his father uses like 5 times as much wood. And it's his work. I said, that's your money. I'd buy him a new furnace. Tell him to buy a new furnace. So, cut off things from the making railroad ties or whatever from the sawmill. I got to get some of that because I'm about out of wood. That's a pile that I can use, just all of that. That's ready to be split. Some small stuff in there. Anyway, and since Bill, the propane truck just came by, and since they put hardwood floor in, he decided not to put the wood stove back in this winter. So he's heating with propane, and he figures, Jerry, by the time all the chainsaw oil and blades and danger and blood, sweat, and tears and all the fun and all the adventure and all the danger. My cousin used to say, they say that I want to do something with that. Okay, I'll show that one later. I forget it. It's a long time ago. I mean, like 40 years ago. I'll come up with that one again. I might think of it here. Anyway, the cage that was there, which they hold about a rick, that sells for about $40 full of wood. Well, it just got emptied today. Bill's needs money and he sold it, so I get these. And every one of those, I think even that long one there, will fit in my stove. That's like 3 days. I mean, that much wood is a week easy. Get coals going, put one of them in there, and you're good for like, I would still have coals 24 hours later. I don't think any question, because there's so much wood in there. It's not every square inch is wood. Every cubic inch is wood. So anyway, chainsaws, steel chainsaw, no, steel chainsaws, whatever. Electric versus gas. Watch Wrangler Star's video on his dad's Makita, which his dad had been using for a while. It was a used Makita versus a brand new Husqvarna, same length bar and everything. Basically, same length power. Get away from me. I felt something on my leg. There can't be a fly. So anyway, electric chainsaws are very good. They're very efficient. They're very powerful. When I was doing the video the other day on the Little Works chainsaw 12-inch bar, I read a review of it today. A guy said, yeah, it looks like a toy, but it is not. And he told the amount of work he did. I don't know if he did it on one battery, but if he did, I would be amazed. They're supposed to be like 4 amp-hour batteries, 40 volt, pretty good power. There's 60, there's 80 volt, but for a little toy-looking chainsaw for $79, don't pay any more than $79. And be sure you get the saw and the charger and the battery. 3 things. They don't sell one with 2 batteries. I've never seen one like that. But anyway, saw, battery, charger for less than $80, and you got yourself a pretty. And it's a 3/8 pitch chain. It's not a toy chain. It's not a toy. 3/8 pitch is what most chainsaws run, or predominantly. There's 3/8 and then 325, 0.325. I don't know why the difference. Don't ask me. I'm studying it. I've got a gauge measuring device coming from Oregon. Chainsaws. Electric is cool. They're stealth. They're quiet. They're instant power. You pull the trigger, you got power. One thing that Wrangler Star, Cody Crone, he did a review of his dad's Makita versus his brand new Husqvarna gas chainsaw. And he timed it. You can see the timing. He made like 12 cuts, 6 cuts. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Whatever, 6 cuts. And yeah. And the Makita was faster by about 5 or 6 seconds. So He said it has instant power. It never bogged down, where the gas power, you'd hear him go, meh, meh, meh. That's because it's bogging down when the cutting gets harder. The Makita never did that. It just went through the whole cutting sequence, and it was faster. So they are not toys. They are not toys. So if you're out camping and you want to get some firewood quietly, whole lot quieter to go brrr. You can't hear that for more than a couple hundred yards, versus a gas chainsaw that you can hear for, I'm being realistic. I'm trying to estimate a mile, probably about a mile, depending on the weather conditions. Like right now it's overcast. You'd hear it a lot farther because the sound's going to bounce up, bounce down off the clouds. Same with the shofar blast. It's going to carry a lot farther under certain conditions. So in the evening, at nighttime, oh yeah, big time. 3 miles, maybe 10 miles. If there's echoing hollers over the hills, all the people's got to do is come find the chainsaw, and they just found their somebody camping or treasure trove. Another reason to get silky saws, hand-operated, good saws. Silky saws are fabulous. And in this case, do not listen to Wrangler Star Cody Crone. Listen to Nate, Canadian Prepper. Watch Canadian Prepper stuff on silky saws, and he said that if he only had one tool to take out in the wilderness on a bug-out thing, he would take his silky 650 saw. And he says, I'm kind of joking. You can't just take one thing. You got to have the 5 C's. What are they? Class? What? Come on. Let me get my glasses out of the way, or put them on. Okay. Cutting, knife, saws, whatever. You got to have cutting. Do it 2-in-1 tool. That'd be cool, but kind of unusual. Cover. Shelter, poncho, tent, whatever. Good clothing is cover. Good clothing is cover. I should have started with that one. That is your primary thing, cover. Always put that first. Cover, cutting, container, something to boil water in, stainless steel things. There's videos on that. Get one, a big wide mouth Nalgene stainless steel bottle or something to affect Ozark trails. 4, come on, fire, combustion, all right? And if you got to build a shelter, you got to do something to make it hold together, tie together. Cordage, number 5, cordage. And I don't know, someday I'll do them in whatever order I think they're most important. But I think cover, definitely shelter, is your most important, because the Inuit Indians wear their cover. They wear their shelter. They can lay down on the ice at 50 below zero and survive because of what they eat and because of their caribou hides, one with the hair in, that's their underwear, and one with the hair out, that's their outer thing. They can literally survive at, very, very high, degrees below zero. And because they wear their shelter, they wear their cover. All right, this is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. I'll talk later. Bye. Got a lot of things I got to get done. I got to stop doing these videos.